Well, hello then, I do hope you're all well. Now, is this more fresh Suella Braverman and Home Office epic Incompetence? Now, what you are about to see, you will not believe. Then again, this is Leaky Sue, so you might actually believe it. But you will hear briefly from Caroline Harris, then from Paula Barker, who brings up a situation from within her constituency. I think will just blow your mind.
Home Secretary, I wonder if you'd comment on the reports that the people being hired by the Home Office to clear the asylum processing backlog are getting just 2 days of training, and that many of them have getting their information about the countries that people are fleeing from Lonely Planet and the Rough Guide.
That's a concerning report. I'm not familiar with it, but I'm not sure if there's anything you can say about the kind of training that people are getting. But ultimately, these are really important decisions that people are making. It's important that they receive sufficient training, that they are using the appropriate guidance issued by government and verified by independent expertise when these decisions are being made. So we want to ensure that our caseworkers are properly remunerated and ensure that they have the proper resources to work productively.
And there's country guidance on every country, and that is the basis of the caseworkers' decision making.
Okay, Paula Barker.
Thanks, Chair. Home Secretary, could you talk us through the process of securing accommodation and talk us through the criteria?
Do you mean for an individual person?
No, I mean for the accommodation.
You mean for an individual person securing their accommodation? What is the process for securing a destination of accommodation for someone who comes and presents?
Yes, so what criteria is used when the Home Office secures accommodation to move people from Manston to a hotel?
Well, we look at availability. That's been a key factor for procuring accommodation. We want to ensure that people are able to be properly supported in that accommodation. Our main priority is to use dispersed accommodation through local authorities, and we provide a lot of funding to make sure that eligible local authorities can provide the wraparound support locally. More than £21 million has been provided in unring-fenced grant funding to those local authorities, and local authorities will also receive £3,500 for each new accommodation bed that they provide through dispersal accommodation in this financial year. So that's our main priority. We want to ideally not use hotels and go through the local authorities to identify properties that way.
So on the 20th of November, I received an email from Asylum Support Bronze Command to advise me that a hotel in my constituency was going to be stood up within 24 hours. The problem with that is the site is not a hotel. It hasn't been for over 17 years. It is derelict. When I have gone back and asked a series of questions, which I believe to be relatively easy questions, such as any planning or change of use applications that have been made to the local authority, number of proposed asylum seekers for the property, details of the proposed asylum seekers in terms of the demographics, so women, men, children, families, any relevant risk assessments regarding location, profile of people being placed there, checks made for human habitation on the property, fire safety, gas safety, special requirements including overcrowding and bathroom facilities, sanitation, length of time that they will be held there, and information on how you intend to support people in the accommodation with meals, healthcare, security, finances, etc. I was told that that information was complex and was not readily available, and they couldn't meet the deadline of 24 hours that I'd set, and it may take 72 hours. Do you think that's reasonable, that that information is not readily available?
Well, so I don't know the particular circumstances of what's happened in this case, but what I will say is that I am aware of real concerns about the procurement of hotels. So, as I've said, our main priority is to try to get asylum seekers accommodated through local authority housing. And when we can't do that, we are using hotels. And that is a short-term solution to meet our immediate and acute need. We've also been, we have providers who are tasked with identifying suitable options to ensure that these hotels are made available. You just asked me about the criteria, and I've got the detailed criteria here. Regarding the hotels, we source the suitable accommodation within the broad principles of the standards, so they need to be of a suitable contractual requirement. The availability, we generally are using them on an exclusive use basis. They need to be suitable, and that includes the impacts on the local community, the local availability of local services, community cohesion, feedback from local partners, and affordability and value for money are also a criteria within this process. And once a site is identified as potentially viable, providers, the contractors with whom we work are given the approval to begin a due diligence and engagement with the hotel, and the Home Office then begins its engagement activity with local partners, including notice to the local authority, chief executive and the Member of Parliament. We are instituting this new process because I am aware that it hasn't been sufficient.
Given this particular site has not been a hotel for over 17 years and is derelict, do you think that your due diligence is working?
Right, well, I don't know if there's anything you know about this particular matter, but as I say, that does, on the face of what you're telling me, sound concerning. It doesn't sound as if a derelict, of course, and again, without knowing all the facts, a derelict piece of accommodation would not be suitable accommodation for asylum seekers or anybody for that fact. So I don't know what's happened there, if I'm honest. I don't know if there's anything you can add.
I don't know about that specific case, Home Secretary, but we will follow up with you to make sure that the engagement that the Home Secretary was talking about and the new system which we've set up as of this week, I hope you've seen the letter from the Minister for Immigration to all MPs that sets out that process, that engagement includes answers to all of your questions. And obviously, if there's been such a important misunderstanding as the one that you described, then clearly, that something has gone wrong in the process.
I think a misunderstanding is an understatement, Mr. Rycroft, if you don't mind me saying.
Wow. Just wow. When I was watching this, I was just thinking, what planet is she from? So when Paula Barker talked about a building that hasn't been in a hotel for 17 years, and they're still trying to defend a procedure that clearly has failed. I would have just said, clearly something has gone wrong here. Can you give me the details? And let's see if we can sort it out. And I will write to you whatever we find out, and let's see if we can get this sorted. But this was left to the Permanent Secretary. I think that's what they call him, Matthew Raycroft, wasn't it? Must be a Tory thing, eh? Anyway, this is the last of the Home Affairs Committee meetings, and let's be honest, they've been rather revealing, haven't they? But what do you guys think? Let me know in comments below, and until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.